itself without everything else.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you love till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. They charged all the people $1.50 to see them. And don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you've got till it's gone. Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, believe me, the birds and the bees. And don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. And pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Pay paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go, but you don't know what you got? And don't it always seem to go, you don't know what you got? And don't it always seem to go, don't know what you got? Don't it always
Thank you, that was fabulous. I'm in no way surprised. So, this service is inspired by and requested by a group. So in the front of your program, you're going to see a piece of art. In September, you might remember that there was the climate revival, and congregations all over the country participated. There was also an art contest as part of that, and that art contest was had 7 winners, and then they took the art and asked several of us if we would create worship inspired by that art. So I was given a piece. The piece is on the front of your program. This worship is inspired by that. Does that all make sense? Yeah. Okay. That's what we're doing today. So let's begin. Enter our time of worship, our time of celebration, of wonder, of foot stomping and hand clapping, our once a week time of shared silence and candle lighting, of prayer sung and spoken, howled and wordless. Enter this short time with your spiritual community, bringing all that you are at this moment, bringing your broken heart, your messy life, your wandering mind, hopefully your crying baby. Bring it all. Breathe with us. Sit with us. Sing with us. Worship with us for this one joyful hour. It is good to be with you all. Please rise in body or spirit and let's sing hymn number 1018. Words are in your program. Come and go with me.
Come and go with me. Come and go with me. Come and go with me to that land where I'm. There'll be freedom. There'll be freedom.
Please join us in lighting our chalice. It will be sung, then spoken, then sung. The words are in your bulletin. We light the chalice, the fire that guides and unites our church, kindling the flame of love that burns at the center of our faith. Please join me now in reciting our unison affirmation, also found in your bulletin. Unto the Church Universal, which is the depository of all ancient wisdom and the school of all modern thought, which recognizes in all prophets a harmony, in all scriptures a unity, and through all dispensations a continuity, which abjures all that separates and divides, and always magnifies humanity and peace, which seeks truth in freedom, justice in love, and individual discipline in social duty, and which shall make of all persons one beloved community. Unto this church and unto all its members, known and unknown throughout the world, we pledge the allegiance of our hands and hearts. We greet each other on Sundays as part of our liturgy. We turn to one another, strangers or old friends, and we welcome one another into our shared space. It's our way of saying that our spiritual path is relational, communal, that we're in this together. It's not just friendly, it's how we ground ourselves in this space with each other. Please greet your neighbor.
Can everyone find your way back? Hey Tristan, this might need to be louder. They are not listening to me. Find your way back. And I know how absolutely and completely delightful these children are, but we're going to need to sing them off to their classes.
I hear you, Quincy. I'm with you. Now is the time to reflect on the moment. We set aside a moment in service to share what's already on our minds. And today, it's raining outside, and we are few in number. The storm clouds are coming, and there is not many of us. On my mind today, what do we do when the waters rise? What do we do when the storm winds blow harder and faster than we remember? What do we do when there are not many people around us to hold us when we need them? As we consider this moment, I want to also consider the hope in this moment, because the world has only been changed by small groups with strong purpose. With that in mind, let us observe the silence of the chime.
Beloveds, let us take a moment to reflect, to pray, to meditate, to be present with one another. I invite you to take a breath in as deep as is comfortable for you, and let it out. Let's do that again. In and out. We gather together in shared moments of love and wonder, connected by our interdependence, our search for truth, and our call to justice. We gather together because we know that all of us need all of us to make it, that none of us can go it alone. We gather together to share our joys and our sorrows, our hopes and our doubts, our mistakes and our miracles. As we envision a world shaped by climate justice, a world with love at its center, we hold in our hearts all beings who have struggled, suffered, and died because of the climate crisis. We remember the human lives lost, those whose homes, places of worship, schools, and communities have been destroyed by flood, by storm, by fire. Those who are living without clean water, clean air, or safe streets. Those who still dream of a better world, and those who have lost hope. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. And we remember, too, the non-human beings, the plants and the animals, the ecosystems and life forms who have suffered from our destruction of the earth, from deforestation and fracking, from poisoned air and polluted oceans, from the endless extraction born of human greed. They too are part of this sacred world, and they too deserve our prayers. There's a river flowing in my life. moment, I will invite those gathered here to come forward as you are moved to light a candle. You may light a candle in memory or in hope, in grief or in gratitude. Each flame is a prayer. Come now, beloveds, let us light our prayers together. Spirit of life, root us in the truth that we belong to each other, human and more than human, river and root, soil and sky. In a world unraveling from greed and grief, may we become weavers of repair. May we listen deeply to the earth, to each other, to the wisdom within. May we act boldly, not from fear, but from fierce and tender love. Let us be moved not only to feel, but to do. To build a world where all can breathe, where no being is disposable, where justice rolls down like waters, and peace flows like a mighty stream. This is our prayer, our promise, and our charge. Ashe, amen, and may it be so.
Amen.
Our wisdom story this afternoon is entitled The Dream and was written by our own Jill Novensky. One warm spring afternoon in a borough close by, there was a 12-year-old child named Kai sitting on their balcony trying to conjure a project for their school arts and science fair. Kai didn't think their art skills were much to showcase. Singing was really their first love. But the science teacher had instructed the class to think about their biggest unanswered questions and had encouraged everyone to remember what they'd learned so far about Earth and space. Kai had always felt like they were connected to something bigger than themselves, and they had a lot of big questions that it seemed science wouldn't be able to answer. They thought about the lessons they'd had on space and remembered a big debate about Pluto losing its planetary status. At the time, Kai had actually felt sad learning that Pluto was reclassified, and other students teased them for having feelings about something so remote. There was also that lesson on constellations when the class erupted over who would be the first to discover a new collection of stars that formed a recognizable shape. Kai remembered feeling how ridiculous it was that people were always trying to lay claim to natural phenomena. Why do people always feel the need to have answers for everything? Every time these debates and challenges erupted, the class became divided and angry. For Kai, there was something about not knowing that felt sacred. Later that night, when it was time for bed, Kai's mind was full, and as they closed their eyes, big questions became a very interesting and revealing dream. And it all began with a stone. Half buried in the soil beside a lake, there was a stone that hadn't moved in 10,000 years. It was older than the forest, older than the lake, older even than the mountains that now stood like quiet sentinels on the landscape. The stone spoke in a low voice, like the rumble beneath the earth.
I've seen many faces pass above me. I remember when fire ran wild beneath the skin of the world. I remember the ice, the pressure, the cracking open. I felt roots push into me and deer step over me. I've been split and shaped, but I'm still here.
The stone's voice carried no bitterness. It was the voice of memory, of patience, of time held in stillness.
Everything moves but me, yet through me everything has passed. I am the keeper of change and the silent verse in the sacred song.
A breeze stirred the leaves, and the wind laughed softly, playfully. Wind whispered to the stone.
You may be the keeper of change, but I am the bearer of it.
The wind whirled among the branches, lifted a feather from the forest floor, and danced over the lake's surface. Its voice was a weaving of whispers, one moment joyful, another mournful.
I've circled the world 1,000 times. I've moved through the deserts and oceans, carried pollen of spring and the ashes of loss. I've cooled the skin of sleeping lions and lifted the wings of birds. I pass through all things and belong to none.
The wind paused, tenderly curling around the stone.
I don't stay, but I do connect. I don't always make a sound, but I am the breath of every song. I am the space between you and everything else.
High above in the night sky, a star lingered. Holding its place in the vast dome above, it spoke in a voice of shimmering stillness.
I've watched you both, stone in your stillness and wind in your dance. I have seen you both from the place where silence was born.
Its light fell gently over the lake and into the forest.
I see no divisions, no lines between earth and sky, between lake and tree, between you and the child who will soon wake beneath that cedar tree. From where I shine, all things glow with the same fire. You are made of the same substance as I am. We are all made of it. Dust, light, silence, and story.
The star pulsed softly, preparing to fade.
I am not your watcher. I am your kin.
The stone, the wind, and the star heard each other fully now. Their voices, once solo, began to merge, not in unison, but in harmony. Each brought its truth, its rhythm, its wisdom.
We are not separate.
We are not strangers.
We are not alone.
We are one story, expressed through many voices.
We are one body,
dressed in many forms.
We
are
one
sacred breath,
exhaled into the infinite.
And as long as the galaxies spin, we will sing. Stone in stillness, wind in movement, star in light. All is one, all is whole,
all is holy.
Beneath the cedar tree, a child stirred. Eyes opened, not just with waking, but with remembering. The child looked at the lake, at the forest, at the sky. And though no words were spoken, something inside them knew. Everything is singing the same story, and I'm a part of it. The first bird sang. The wind lifted the child's hair. The stone warmed in the first touch of sunlight. The last star faded into the great blue. And the song, a beautiful cacophony, ancient and endless, continued. As Kai's eyes slowly opened to the new day, that sacred song was dancing in their heart and ringing in their ears. A gorgeous harmony unfolded of earth and space, of connection and wonder, and Kai, like the child in the dream, remembered it all, as if this story had been living in their bones all along. At the Art and Science Fair that day, there were booths set up with trifolds showcasing facts about Earth and space, paintings and collages featuring birds and underwater sea life. And there was Kai standing next to a very simple drawing of a stone, a gust of wind, and a star. Next to the drawing was a very simple written invitation to hear their song, an angelic melody and verse that flowed like a river, connecting all beings in one unified and sacred story, celebrating nature, big, unanswerable questions, and the wonder of it all. Here ends our wisdom story.
Spirit made a place for you where everything is new.
Spirit made a place for you where everything is new.
Love has made a place for you where everything is new.
Love has made a place for you where everything is new.
Grace has made a place for you where everything is new.
Grace has made a place for you where everything is new. Spirit has made a place for you where everything is new. Spirit has made a place for you where everything is new. Where everything is
That was gorgeous. So over the course of that weekend in September, thousands of UUs across the country participated in the first ever climate revival. Some of you may remember we went to 4th U for that Sunday to worship together, pushing back on the fear and sadness that this topic can often inspire. The revival leaned into joy, celebrating our successes and building communities committed to a sustainable and gorgeous future. UU spent the weekend reimagining our extractive culture. Included in the revival was an art contest with a total of 7 winners. And the leaders of that contest reached out to a handful of clergy to design a worship service inspired by one of those pieces of art. I accepted the invitation, and the service is a response to a piece called Love at the Center. It's pictured on the front of your programs. So I don't know the artist who created this. The piece has a lot of different symbols, but I think the general idea is that love needs to be at the center of our relationship with Earth. And since I've declared from this pulpit innumerable times that love needs to be at the center of everything, it's a message I can embrace without hesitation, and one I know many of you have been working to integrate into your own lives. For those of you who can't see it, the painting sets 2 people before each other with a picture of the planet between them, each of them kissing it. It's very sweet. There's a chalice above their heads with the flames centered by a leaf encircled by puzzle pieces meant to look like people. We can imagine the two main characters holding a child or a kitten in much the way they are embracing Earth. They are loving caretakers, stewards. They accept responsibility for this magnificent planet whose future is dependent on their gentle embrace. It reminds me of the book of Genesis, where Yahweh, the creator God of the Abrahamic religions, tells the father and mother of all humans to be fruitful and multiply and to have dominion over earth and to take care of all that's been given to them. It beautifully reflects the theology that undergirds much of faith-based climate action. I remember the charge from Genesis being the foundation of my own training many years ago when I embarked on this course of study as a Green Faith Fellow in 2009. We have been charged with the critical role of caretaking, but have recently begun to fail and need to reimagine our lives with a shift of priorities that allows us to be true to the charge, really the directive to be good, generous, and worthy stewards. Now, because that doesn't perfectly align with my own theology, I'm going to accept the invitation to break this open a little bit. As UUs, we've grabbed onto the concept of love being at the center, since writing our values statement, which brilliantly crafted a circular image rather than a linear one, and putting love in the middle of that makes clear that what grows from it might change with time, but as long as it's sourced by love, it's still worthy of our theological attention. The challenge for me comes from the concept, though, of a center. If there's a center, there are margins, inside and outside. So I know love, and she is everywhere. Right now, right here, her breath fills my lungs and yours too. Whether you're in the room here with me or streaming from Taiwan, her song is heard on the wind here in New York City and in Dallas and Vancouver and Nairobi and Marrakesh. She makes herself known every time a parent reaches out to hold a child's hand, or a gardener plucks a tomato warm from the sun and shares it with a neighbor. She is with us when we sit with a grieving friend or attend an aging parent. Love is at the center, but the center is everywhere. And I'm going to take this a step further. All of life, this entire universe, is love, is the body of God. Everything we see and know and feel are an expression, a manifestation of love. Our bodies, our laughter, our wonder, the stars, the galactic systems, the tulips breaking through de-thawed soil, the firefly, the universe is the divine expressing herself. We are her body. Our lives are living testaments to the sacred story. That story is being told by each of us in all the complexities and simplicities of our very long and very short lives. It's also being told by the trees and the salmon and the grizzly bear and the granite and the earthworm. Every being is a holy expression. Every being is a revelation. Using that framework, all beings have inherent value, not because of what we do or accomplish, but because we are the bodies of love. We aren't stewards of earth because we were commanded to it. We are stewards in partnership with all of life, which shares in our task of telling the sacred story, of living into the truth of divine expression. We are called into deep caretaking of love, as vulnerable as every insect racing to get out from under our feet. All of the divisions we interpret in our social systems are constructed by us. There is no inherent difference of value between lives. The hierarchy of being we have imagined into existence isn't an authentic reflection of the truth we are beginning to embrace as you use the idea that love is at the center of everything. If love is at the center, if love is the animating force of all life, then nothing is worth more or less anything else. We are of the same substance, sourced from the same body. We are all, in our own ways, demonstrating, embodying, and revealing love. We are all participating in the same mystery, all telling the sacred story. Every element of life is divine utterance, holy expression. Everyone. The social construct we have created includes this hierarchy of being, giving more value to some lives over others. White, wealthy American, able-bodied, straight-educated, cisgendered men between the ages of 25 and 70 are valued at a higher level than other life. And while most progressive thinkers, maybe most of us will agree we have a shameful vertical value system of humans, we rarely recognize the equal value of other elements of Earth. This limits our theological imaginations and has ultimately instigated the ecological collapse we're watching and experiencing. Undisciplined expansion of self, human inflation, has brought us to the edge of destruction. The human project has entered a period of danger, and all Earth is looking to us to determine our collective future. Every being, every living embodiment of love, every living being sharing in this sacred story is dependent on us. We, Mother Earth's youngest and most reckless child. Hope for that future rests in our ability to break open our framework, relating to all Earth as Father Thomas Berry suggests, a communion of subjects rather than a collection of objects. Love, finding her rightful place at the center, is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, is our invitation to relationship, right relationship with the universe, and more immediately and necessarily with this planet we share. We are not stewards. We do not have dominion. We are partners. We are companions with all of life, also and equally expressions of love. The shift of perspective and the dismantling of our hierarchical system to reconstruct anew is well grounded in our shared value of pluralism. We have stated and agreed that we value all human life equally, regardless of the social categories often used for division. But the framework I'm suggesting drags those boundaries ever wider, encompassing every being. Our shared story begins with the first cellular ooze and will continue as long as the galaxies spin. Every component has the right to exist, the right to have a place to live, the right to fulfill its purpose. Every time we betray those rights, we betray the sacred love that called us into being. Humans are not on the outside of nature, standing above or apart. While we might hold the fate of the planet in our hands, as the painting suggests, we are not separate from the fate we create. We are of nature, of this planet, Earth, intimately and bodily birthed from the very life that teems infinitely. Living into this expansiveness inspires a softer footprint, a decentering of the human experience, ultimately inviting us to a more sustainable existence. Climate justice is a call to recognize and address the disproportionate attacks on marginalized communities as a result of climate change. It's a widening of the lens to recognize that impact is unequal and that vulnerable people have fewer resources to alter current trajectories or recover from crisis. Acknowledging our moral responsibility, climate justice seeks equitable solutions that prioritize communities that have historically, systematically been under-resourced and continue to be underserved and are sometimes entirely unconsidered. This is our task, but it's only the beginning. To address this crisis is to right-size our place, the human place, in this massive planetary system, encouraging all life to thrive. No one form or element is of more value or has more of a right to exist than another, whether we're talking about white children from Greenwich, Connecticut, or indigenous children from Brazil, or dolphins in the Atlantic. We are all telling a sacred story. We are all divine expressions, all manifestations of love. Justice, a reshifting of our priorities, a reimagining of our planetary future, new eco-technologies that ensure sustainability are all consequences of the recognition of our shared place in the sacred story. Recalibrating our importance, acknowledging the necessity of multi-species partnership, profound interdependence, and laying the vertical hierarchy of beings on its side, we can modify goals to ensure that the turtles and the heron and the elk and the oak trees and the mountaintops and every one of our seas, all revelations, has what they need to survive and thrive. Giving love all the room she needs to live extravagantly at the center of everything.
For the path is there.
Choir makes it easy to remember to tell you all to come hear the choir. On May 18th, we have this big Love Fights Back concert. We have choir members from all over the city coming. So I'm hoping that everyone will be there and that you'll bring your friends and family.
What day was it?
May 18th.
What day?
May 18th. 2 weeks from today. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 2 weeks from today. Right here. Thank you. As we go from here, may we be kind, may we be brave, may we be bold, may we be just, may we be generous, and may we always, always be merciful. Let's extinguish our chalice. Send our light into the world where healing and hope are needed. Let us go in peace to love and serve this world and one another. It's good to be with you.
I feel a new day coming around, coming around. See a beautiful sun over the hill now. I've been looking around, and it seems that I found the sky is no longer gray. It's gonna be a new day.
A new day is coming.
I can see the sun. Lift your head and sing. We got joy, 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 joy. We got my path is brighter now than ever. My mind is determined and strong. Though my path is not smooth, I'll continue to move. Not much longer, I pray. It's gonna be a new day.
A new day is coming.
I can see the sun. Lift your head and sing. We've got joy, 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 joy. Sometimes you hold on, hope that's gone.
The gift is you've been lifted. Sometimes I can't see the light in front of me. Now it shines so bright. Oh, there's gonna be a new day. I can see the sun over the hills, and it sings. Oh, there'll be